All right, we are just about ready to get started, and I want to thank everybody who's here. I'm just waiting for everybody to pop up, and you can stay close like that. That's totally cool. You don't have to put your video on, but if you happen to want to put your video on, it's on the bottom left-hand side, and you have to activate the video. So it would be great to see a couple of faces, but I don't mind doing this. So, all right, it's 8 o'clock, and I want to thank you guys for coming and showing up to this webinar. I'm just gonna, and it's amazing to have so many of you out, and I'm really, really excited about this because this is the first one that I'm putting on. And I have a lot of good content for you. We're gonna keep it nice and hold on here. I'm just going to put my gallery to. And I'm just going to make sure everybody is muted so that we get background. So Richard, if you could mute your iPad, that would be awesome. So, all right, let's get rolling. So a little bit of so like I was saying, this is my first one, and I've got some good content for you, and I'm going to introduce myself before we get rolling because I always forget to introduce myself. Thank you so much. My name is Sylvie Daou. I live here in Chelsea, Quebec, Canada, and I've just put in the chat. There's actually a chat at the bottom where you're coming from. I would really love to know where you live, because this webinar, this ad went out all over US and Canada. So it'd be great to see where some people are coming from. So there's a chat below. You can populate that. You can also ask questions as we go along, and I'll answer them if I can. But like I mentioned, you'll be getting this in the recording, and you can watch this afterwards. So thank you for being here. You could be anywhere else tonight, and hopefully you're here to gain some good content. So myself, Sylvie, my background is I'm a level 3 national cycling performance coach here in Chelsea, and or Quebec, I should say, and I'm a nutrition consultant. I've been a personal trainer. I have various certifications in the gym, and I've also been on the figure and bikini stage. I started competing in 2004 when I was 32, and my last one, hey Angie, and my last one when I was so if you could just mute yourself, that would be fabulous. It was in 2017, so I've done, I don't know, I lost count, about 15, but I made it twice to the national IFBB CBBF national stage, and both in competition. So I've done a lot of work with nutrition for myself and with other clients. Hey there. And I'm super stoked to bring the information that I have to you. So like I mentioned, put in the chat, guys. I'd love to hear where you guys are coming from. There's a chat below. If you could just let me know where you live, that would be awesome, because like I was saying, this went out across Canada, and it'd be cool to see where everybody's sitting. So this is going to be short, about 30 minutes, and I'm kind of watching the time because I want to be really respectful of your time as well. And so let's get started. I have a quick little presentation to follow, but here we go. All right, can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, so nutrition webinar. And I want to, I just want to welcome everybody again. And I want to say thank you to those who filled out the questionnaire. So this, like I mentioned, helped me kind of mold this webinar to the questions that some of you had and where your struggles are in nutrition. Now, out of 26 people who actually registered for this, 8 filled it out. So I have enough good content. And it seems like everybody's kind of struggling in the similar areas. Okay, just trying to. So we got the questionnaire. So what came out of the questionnaire? So our first question was, where's your biggest struggle? I had 3 people with lunches, 2 people night eating, so snacking at the end of the day, and 1 missed meal. So I'm going to assume that lunch is probably in there and possibly breakfast. And then there was some who had protein intake. So we're going to talk, I added protein pacing in there. And then we had 3 different subjects that we're going to touch on. One was performance, one was weight loss, and one was energy. So please make sure you're muted. Oh, here, I can actually do that from here. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to start with protein intake. And I'm just going to, these are kind of rules to live by right here. And maybe if you have a pen and paper, this might be worth writing down to make your own calculations. So to maintain a healthy weight, we need to eat 5 to 6 times a day, and we're going to talk about that. Scheduling in meals and snacks and drinking water. Then, being consistent or conscious about the sugar and fat intake, having, which is going to have good energy and sleep and actually allow you to sleep well. So these rules, what are they? And we're going to kind of break them down. So rules to live by, the amount of protein. Everybody is kind of surprised about the amount of protein that we actually need to intake to, maintain our weight and to eat healthy. Now, right here, it's 0.75 to 1 gram per pound. So if you take your body weight, and I usually use 1 gram per pound, I'm 130 pounds, so that's 130 grams a day. Now, if you aren't getting that, a couple things are happening. So you're not sustaining good energy. Protein is in our diet so that it breaks down slowly. So you have that breakdown happening during the day as you're eating your carbs. Now, also, it's there for good weight management. And you'll notice if you increase the protein intake, then you will definitely see a shift in your weight. I'm not talking about shift up. Now, we're going to talk about, so 1 gram, and I don't have the amount here, but in a single setting, like if you're to break down your protein intake per day. So you think about, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 130 grams in a day? Well, you have to break them down in your 5 servings. So your 3 main servings are your breakfast, lunch, and supper. And then you have snacks, morning snack and afternoon snack. And it's really, really important to make sure that you get all 5 of these to maintain healthy energy and energy throughout the day, and also to be, full and to control those cravings. So where are we talking about? So how much protein do we intake in at a time? Now, the rule of thumb is 5 ounces per serving or setting. So that's breakfast, lunch, or supper. And how much is that? That's 36 ounces. So, so then we think, okay, we go out and we see that great 8-ounce steak that we'd love to eat. And I eat it too, but I know that 3 ounces of that is not going to go into my body. It's actually going to be stored as fat. So you have to think about, sometimes it's like serving sizes in restaurants. And what I get into at home is I actually do weigh out my stuff. It's a little anal, but at least I know what I do and how much I intake. Now, so these are kind of little ideas. And then if you go through tracking your own food, which we kind of are not going to be talking about, that's kind of like, a little bit more on the advanced side, and possibly another webinar, is that you can find out what snacks and what quantity of snacks have some protein in them. So you definitely want some carbs, and you definitely want some protein. So that's like, your yogurts, your cottage cheese, some nuts, stuff like that. Daily water consumption. So, are you drinking enough water? I know people who put alarms on their phone to make sure that they drink enough water during the day, because it does have a massive impact on our body and hydrating our organs, right? Our skin, everything. We are like 80% water. So we need to hydrate on a regular basis. So take your body weight, divide it by 2, and the amount of ounces, that's how much you should drink during the day. So I'll let you can keep that calculation. So a lot of people, you have your designated water bottle. Make sure you know how many of those you need to intake on a daily basis to get your proper consumption. Now, another big thing is, am I taking in enough sugar? And there's a whole big, controversy about completely removing sugar from your diet. Yes, refined sugars, like sugars from, starches, candy, that stuff, pop, that's the kind of sugar you should be removing, like breads and stuff like that. Now, we do need to intake a certain amount of carbs on a daily basis for brain function. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Now, Moira, maybe you can help me out. Can you hear the noise up there? Hold on. My husband, I love him that he's doing the dishes, but maybe not right now. John, can you stop doing the dishes? Thanks. Well, anyways, where was I? Sorry. I have to laugh because I'm in the basement and he's upstairs, and anyways, and there's not a lot of good insulation between here and there. So thank you for confirming that we are hearing the same noise. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about sugars, right? So if you see here, there is a certain amount of sugar that we need to intake, and we get it from, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that, that we should, be taking in on a daily basis. So you see here, 25 grams of sugars to 37 grams of sugar. So if you're into tracking, and when I work with clients, one of the things that I get them to do is to track their food intake for a week, or even 3 days. Do that for yourself for 3 days and find out where you're lacking. Because a lot of people tell me they're healthy, and and then but then they're asking for help, and that's one of the best ways to find out truly what you're intaking, because telling me you're healthy tells me absolutely nothing. Like, I say I'm healthy, my description of healthy is maybe different than yours description. So there are a couple really cool food trackers that we use, and one is MyFitnessPal, which I think everybody's pretty familiar with that. And the other one is Carb Manager. So download Carb Manager. It's really, I much prefer that one to MyFitnessPal. And the reason being is that when we calculate carbs, we're like straight calculation, like everything's included. But what a lot of people don't do is look at the fiber on the labels. And fiber intake is so important because we need a certain amount of fiber. I didn't add that, but we need a certain amount of fiber. Now, what Carb Manager does is it calculates the net carbs. So what net carbs is your carb minus your sugar equals how much carbs you're actually taking in. Sorry, minus the fiber, which is actually the amount of sugar, the carbs that you're taking in. So you'd be surprised, like, if you have something that has like, say for simplicity, it's got 10 grams carbs, but it's got 4 grams fiber, which is actually 6 grams sugar. So where at the bottom it'd be like 10, 10, so you're like, oh my God, there's so much sugar in here, but you haven't even looked at the fiber content. So it's actually, a good amount of sugar, a good amount of fiber. So there's things like that I actually just learned. And and I'm actually in a challenge right now where that app was introduced, and I've been using it to track my food for the last 2 weeks. And I found it very fascinating looking at net carbs and how much fiber and how much sugar we're actually intaking. So sugar is important. We need to take it in. But as you know, our society takes in way too much. Now, the last one is sleep. And we all know sleep is important. Why is it so important? Well, because if you don't get a good night's sleep, you could actually be, hurting yourself with regards to if you're looking for weight loss. If you can't get through a good night's sleep, your body is definitely not going to assist with any kind of weight loss. It actually hinders and it actually creates it. So it's also bound up with stress and anxiety. And those things really don't allow the body to release weight if that's what you're looking. Same with athletes. Athletes, you need a great night's sleep. Why? Because you train so much and you're working the body really hard. And at night, like when you break down your muscles during the day, like whether you're cycling or running or working out, it's actually at night that your body repairs and builds muscle. It's not after, but that's when we need to take in our protein to start muscle repair. It's actually when your body is at rest. So rest and sleep is so crucial in the big picture. So now, does anybody have any questions? So I haven't seen anything in the chat actually. I don't even know if I can see it when I'm in recording mode, but so we had some questions about pre-workout, and I'm just going to go back to here. So protein intake, and we discussed how much protein we need to intake on a daily basis. So there's that calculation to consider. Now, protein pacing is kind of what I was talking about. It's like you're pacing your protein intake during your day. So over 5 meals. Now, a lot of people here who answered the questionnaire said that one of their main struggles is that they're missing meals or it's lunch that they struggle with. I cannot express how much, importance there is on lunch and breakfast, and making sure that you get a good amount of protein in each one of those. So if it's up to like, pre-preparing, then this is something to consider. We've also had like quite a few of you, well, out of our 8, we're into supplements or supplementing for meals, which is an excellent way to get your nutrition in. But supplementing and depending what supplement means and what exactly are you taking in. So, and we had some performance here. So there are quite a few of you, well, everybody kind of has a different struggle. So it's hard to cover everything in this webinar. And so what we're going to do is you'll be getting a message from me after. And also I will be sending this video to you so you can take this and look at, listen to it again and may take down some notes. And if you want to take this to the next level and actually get some one-on-one consultation or just discussions on your personal struggles, then I highly recommend that you book a call with me, and we can go over everything, what you're doing, what kind of things that you would like to see, what your goals are, what are you struggling with, whether it's weight loss, performance, better recovery, energy. So when we finish and we have, we're almost done, I highly recommend that we get together and we have a quick conversation to see how I can better and best serve you with your goals and what you're struggling with the most. Now, I just noticed nutritional timing is kind of along the same lines as, protein pacing. This can also be taken into, like, for performance, there's nutritional timing, and that being, when you eat before your workouts, because there was somebody here who's talking about before their swim and what can they eat between their swim and their run so that they have energy, to finish up their run. Because if you have no fuel in the tank, it's really impossible to have a good quality workout. I teach a lot of spinning classes. Well, I teach a very specific one here in Ottawa. It's a 16-week road cycling program, and it is geared towards athletes and anybody who wants to, improve their cycling skills. And because these classes are at night, and this is an example, is that a lot of people or the clients are coming from work. And I ask this all the time. I said, when was the last time you ate? Because we're going into a 90-minute intensive class. And if you ate at 3 o'clock, or not 3, like if your last meal was lunch, you're never going to make it through this workout. And it's real. You have to respect the fact that your body needs fuel and that you need to give it the proper fuel at the right time. So for instance, if you're going to a workout at 6:30, then you should be eating something that's simple, that's not going to be too heavy around 5:30 or 5 o'clock. And then, so when you hit your workout, it's going to be a quality workout and you're not going to slog it through and actually do damage to your body, because you're just going out there and you're pushing and it's not serving you. You're not going to get anything out of it. Going to workouts tired is the worst type of workout. Like, I love that people get out and they're getting there, but if you're not putting the right fuel in your body before you work out, it's not going to be worth it. You're not going to get the results you're looking for, whether it be spinning, running, weight training, anything. So really being cognizant. I'm not just talking about your pre-workout. I'm talking about your whole day, your whole week, your whole month, because everything compounds if you are missing out a couple times in that week, or like you have, bad sleeps during the week, it's going to compound to the point where you get sick. So I can talk forever on nutritional timing. If you're working out, if you're a runner or any kind of, you're in the gym, not even if you're not, if you're active, there are certain things you should think about when you're like during your day, like missing meals just because you think it's going to help with weight loss is probably the biggest mistake you can ever make. So if you're doing that, stop it and put some food in your body and give it the nutrition it needs. Now, some of you might know from my Facebook page that yes, I work with a nutritional company, and I've tried lots of nutrition over the years because of competing. And I found one that worked for me the last 6 years. And I'm not going to, be afraid to share, or because I've used it as a competitive cyclist, and I've used it as a bodybuilder in the gym. I use it as a busy mom, and my kids use it, and our whole family uses it actually over the last 6 years. So this is something that I'm going to share with you because we are all busy. People are missing lunches. And why is that? Because we're busy. We're missing stuff because we're busy and we're not making time. And what if you had a nutritional meal supplement that would give you the energy? It's super amazing, and it takes 5 minutes to eat. Raise your hand if that's like something you'd be totally into. Because even I work at home and I don't go up and I don't cook. And I'm sure I'm not alone with that. But I love convenience. I love convenience that gives me energy, and love convenience that makes me feel good. And that's just something I share. And as an athlete, this, like for everybody, it's something that you mix and you add to what you're currently doing. And if you're not getting the results in what you're doing, you have to take a hard look at what you're doing and change it up. So that being said, I can rant on, but that's not what you're here for. I hope that I gave you some amazing value, and that you're going to you've taken away some notes, and you're going to do your own calculations, and maybe download App Manager and just take a look at some of the ingredients on some of the things that you've been eating, because you can scan everything in your house and check it out, and start calculating your total calories and your total net calories. And if you want to forget all doing that all by yourself and you want some help, then look for the email after this and book a free consultation with me. So my consultation's around $150 an hour, and I'm giving it out for half an hour free consultations to you guys because you are so amazing about coming here and signing up for this webinar. And it's my first one, and I'm super excited, and I love helping and serving people. If I can help somebody here, better themselves, better their performance, achieve a goal, then my work is done. So imagine if you could, have something that's going to help you achieve that, so that you don't have to always be looking for that perfect thing. Stop going to the bike shops and picking up like sugary treats. It's time to get rid of that stuff. It doesn't do any good. It rots your teeth. And all natural is the way to go. So with that being said, it's almost 8:30, and I just want to thank you all for showing up. I know you could be somewhere else tonight. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm certainly blessed to have you guys here. And look for my email, because I look forward to working with each one of you to achieve your goals and get you to where it is that you're striving to be, because there's no point in struggling. We don't need to struggle. It's a lot easier to, hold out your hand and ask for help. So take advantage of that free consultation. I'm here for you, and I look forward to meeting you in person. So take care and have an amazing evening. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Oh, I can see everybody now. Hey. Hi, Angie. Hi, Jen. Have an amazing night, guys. Bye.